It's the Kyle Hyman Show on Redeemer Radio.
This is Kyle Hyman. Thanks for listening to the Kyle Hyman Show podcast, either in the podcasting app of your choosing, in the Redeemer Radio app, through the website, or on YouTube. You know, we've been highlighting different parts of the show, but some of the things that you miss if you're listening afterwards is some of the banter that happens in the live show that just gets cut out of the podcast. So here's, if you're interested, some of the banter that happens during the live show. Today is my kid's first day of school.
Which you found out about 25 minutes ago.
Well, I might have said it was tomorrow.
Sometimes it's hard to keep track of the days of the week.
Yeah.
Although it might be easier now that your kids are in school. When we set up this interview with Dr. Janet Smith, I was like, oh man, Kyle will be so happy. He doesn't read her books, but he's very familiar with her talks.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember yesterday?
Do I remember yesterday?
Yeah.
Which parts of yesterday?
Do you remember the holiday that was yesterday that we did not celebrate?
Yes, I celebrated.
Did you?
I just didn't remember to remind everyone else to celebrate. It was National Left-Handers Day, which is just, I think the best way to describe it would be the day on which we celebrate all the people who are better than the other people.
See, I think I have this weird thing about forcing my kids to be right-handed.
See, it's weird because I was really thinking about forcing my kid to be left-handed.
My reasoning is, and it's funny because
that you're a tyrant of a parent.
No, it's because I have all of these right-handed instruments in the house.
It can be challenging to be left-handed.
And I want them to be able to play them if they'd like.
But facing challenges makes you a better person.
Or makes you spend more on guitars.
Just look at how great I am. Actually, I ended up getting sort of the best of both worlds because I write with my left hand, but I do basically everything else with my right hand. I play sports right-handed and use right-handed scissors.
Is that an advantage? Because isn't that writing left-hand? Don't you smear your? Isn't that a thing?
I guess a little bit, but it's not like it affects my life. But I am really good at
sent you in a downward spiral.
Right. No, I am really good at using both of my hands since like a lot of people who are like just totally use their right hand. If you ask them to do something with their left hand, they're like,
right.
I literally can't even function with this. But since I use both of my hands so much, I'm pretty.
I wonder how
good.
much that is natural, that lefties tend to be more ambidextrous, and how much of it is just by force of nature.
Yeah, we just don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But, I have overcome the challenges of a right-handed world, and I'm better for it.
I did some research into it whenever I started forcing my kids to be right-handed. Like, how much damage am I doing?
I can't believe how serious you are about this.
Yeah. And it would be like, you're holding that fork in the wrong hand when they're, 1.5.
Oh, my gosh.
Or whatever. But it's 10% of the population is left-handed in every single culture.
Yeah. Which is
because I kind of thought, well, maybe it was just like which one you favor when you're.
No, it seems to not be like a cultural or like an environment kind of thing at all. Yeah. What it means is that some of us are better than you. That's what it boils down to. Obviously, God loves us more. I don't know.
On that note, I'll tell you somebody who God does love more than me. St. Maximilian Kolbe.
Everyone is born. I'm not really a pun person. That's my brain doesn't operate that way. I just always my brain just hears the context clues and just assumes the word that is meant in the sentence. So I'm really bad at puns, which is probably part of why I'm bad at tribond.
I wonder if there's a connection there.
Yeah, it's just not how. It's not how my brain works.
Do you don't think of puns, but do you enjoy puns? Or you're like, that is dumb?
Yes. When they're done on purpose as like a joke.
Yeah.
But if someone's like, oh, did you get that pun? Because then I just feel stupid.
Like why was the bicycle leaning up against the building? Because it was too tired.
Yeah. See, that's funny.
That's funny. Okay.
But that's because I think all jokes are funny.
Okay.
If you send me your joke, I will think it's funny. I promise.
Well, let's do an experiment. Send your jokes to Andrea. See if she thinks they're funny. How about some church news?
I can't move on to church news. I'm
Still pondering. Gears still turning.
I can't stop thinking about this Tri-Bond. I hope that other people feel that way. I hope people are tortured by Tri-Bond. I hope that it's just stuck in your mind and until you get the answer. I think that there are people who are like that because I'll get answers like the next morning sometimes.
If there's one thing we would like this show to be described as, it's torturing. Go ahead and put that in your iTunes review for the podcast.
We're too nice the whole rest of the show.
torture
We have
me.
to do something that bothers you. Tri-Bond. Good morning.
Good morning. I think, we haven't talked about lately, but
Yeah.
and people might forget because they don't see us
Right.
on the radio. That's kind of one of the benefits, I would
Yes.
say, of radio. You don't have to look at me.
Yep.
But we've got several pregnancies happening here at the
too.
station.
It's kind of crazy actually because by the end of this year, there will be 5 new babies to people on the Redeemer Radio staff.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Now I'm trying to count in my
Our
head.
staff is like less than 15 people.
Yeah.
So we had a new baby in March to our traffic manager, Becky.
One out and 4 in.
Yeah. And now we're awaiting 4.
Yeah.
One of which is like any day now.
Uh-huh.
Our coworker in South Bend, our South Bend station manager, Rick's wife, Laura, is expecting a baby any day now. Then you're next.
Okay.
With just about a month, less than a month, until
Right.
due date for your wife, Dr. Kate. And then me, which is still about 3 months until my due date in November. And then our marketing manager, Erin, is just a couple weeks after me, end of November. 5 new babies. We love babies at Redeemer Radio, in case you didn't know.
So that's been your baby update from Redeemer Radio.
Yeah. So you guys must be like, this is like crunch time for you guys getting ready. But also it's the 4th time, so you're just like, yeah, whatever, we've done this before.
Yeah, the baby bed's still set up. Like we just kind of have it left up for guests or whatever,
Yeah.
So I don't know. My wife's probably more worried about that than I am about sorting clothes and stuff. But
Not so much on your radar. You haven't been nesting.
There's only a couple things.
You haven't
you
been
need
sympathy
diapers
nesting.
and
Seriously though,
a couple onesies.
Newborns are like, feed me, change my diaper, put whatever clothes you can find on me.
Yeah.
Or just wrap me in a blanket.
Yeah.
It gets a little more complicated after that.
How's your pregnancy been going?
Fine. Actually, I always feel bad because like a lot of people really suffer in their pregnancies, and I feel like I have the easiest pregnancies
You're still young.
ever.
I think my wife has realized.
Yeah. But even
Aging.
even like people my own age or even younger,
yeah,
like my sister has really bad morning sickness most of her pregnancy, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I feel like weird for a few weeks and then I feel fine. But I'm like right in the sweet spot of pregnancy right now too, where I'm not quite far enough along where I'm feeling enormous and it's really affecting my life, but I'm far enough along that I'm like out of this sick and tired phase. But my husband did tell me last night, which I hadn't picked up on yet, since I don't watch myself. He said, as delicately as one can, baby's getting big. You've officially reached waddling phase.
Mark this down in the column of things you shouldn't say to your pregnant wife.
When I say as delicately as one can, I mean not very delicately at all. So I'm just a couple of days from 3rd trimester, so I'm about to exit, I think, pregnancy's sweet spot where I'm going to start feeling a little more like a huge person.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I'm pretty excited. I like being pregnant, so
Good.
it's a good time.
All right. Well, let's begin in prayer this morning. Today, if you're not following along, is an exciting day in liturgical church stuff.
Oh.
It is Friday of the 19th week in ordinary time. That is our celebration today.
Well, hello.
Hello.
It is pleasant to be here with you on this Monday morning.
It is a delight. We made a ton of applesauce over the weekend. Yeah, we have these apple trees that we don't do anything to take care of. I tried trimming them one year, and I think I nearly killed them. They have reluctantly recovered. And they're just dropping. If you just sit in our kitchen for 5 minutes, you're bound to hear a thud on our deck.
Yeah.
These apples. Actually, one hit me on the head I don't know how often this happens in nature.
Yeah.
Like how often people get hit in the head by apples.
You think it's just like a funny thing that happens on cartoons.
I didn't bump the tree or anything. Just one actually fell and hit me on the head.
And no one was even videotaping it.
I know. And I realized gravity. Oh, I get it now. Such a weird story. Like, anyway. So we picked up all these apples off the ground, picked a lot of them from the tree, cut out the bad spots, made applesauce. We have one of these like old-fashioned crank style machines that turns apples into applesauce.
My toddler thinks that all sauces are applesauce.
Oh.
Like if we have ketchup on the table,
it's like, what other sauces are there?
She will point to it and say, applesauce.
Yeah.
I want applesauce.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not applesauce. But she does just eat it plain on a spoon like applesauce. So
why not?
What's the difference, I guess?
Ranch dressing. Here we go.
She just thinks it's delicious.
That's very funny. My kids like ketchup, just spoonfuls.
I've been trying to teach her that.
Salsa.
Right. The point of this is to dip it, honey. And she's just like, why?
Well,
It seems like a waste.
if it's good, then just put it on my spoon. If it's not good, then why are you trying to feed it to me? All right. On Mondays, we like to give you a little evangelization challenge for the week. And today's challenge for the week really should be a challenge for us daily. But to say or do something positive.
Yes.
To post something on social media that's positive, to actually tell somebody something positive.
Yeah, and doing it consciously because it's positive. Because you might be like, oh, I say positive things all the time.
Right.
I'm like kind of naturally an optimistic sort of positive type of person. But I do notice that when I'm not feeling that way and I say something positive, it really like sort of jolts me out of whatever negative mood I'm in.
Yeah.
So be intentional about it.
Go out of your way to do something extra. That's positive. I feel like there's been a lot of negativity going around lately, maybe since the election.
There's some tough stuff going on, guys.
Yeah, but and I think there's reason and a right time to be angry, and that's fully justified. But to balance it out, maybe with something positive to think, it might help you in your mood. It might help somebody else. You never know how the thing that you say might be exactly what somebody needs to hear. Today is my my preschooler's first day of school.
Oh,
the other boys have been
exciting.
in school for a couple weeks now, but yeah, he's excited.
So this is like his first day of school
Ever. Yeah.
Wow.
So he gets to pack his backpack and
Pick out.
he's so excited. He just wants to be one of the big kids.
Yeah, of course he does.
He's only there for 2.5 hours, which is like they do activities. They kind of just play on their own, whatever. I think the teacher reads them a book. They have a snack and have recess, and then they go home.
That's awesome.
It's
So exciting.
It's almost like pretend school.
We ease into these things.
I don't remember. Do you remember preschool? Did you do a preschool?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Do you remember taking an extra pair of clothes in case you had an accident?
I don't have any memory of that.
Yeah.
But maybe I did. Yeah. I don't know.
That's a very smart thing that the schools do.
Yes. Definitely.
Pack an extra pair of clothes for your kid.
Yes. Good morning.
We had football practice last night.
Oh, boy.
Little rainy, and I split up the boys again for football. We did this for baseball. We put them on two different teams. So I've got two boys that are really close in age, and they're in the same league. They could technically be on the same team, and that would be easier for us because practices would be at the same time, same place. But we've discerned that splitting them up might be the best thing. We got the schedule and trying to see like how many times they'd be playing each other and things like that. There's only two teams in this league, and for their age group in this league.
Oh, no.
So every game they're playing each other.
They only ever play each other, as it turns out.
Which I kind of like that. It's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah.
At least it'll be a little easier on us.
Yes, it'll be easier on you.
We'll see how the competitiveness
I can only
goes.
hope that it's very evenly competitive. Otherwise, I could see it
watching
being
their
something of a
practices,
problem.
there's very few completions on the passing. Wednesday is our joke day.
It is.
So I have a joke.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you knew, my wife is on a tropical food diet. The house is full of the stuff. It's enough to make a mango crazy.
Oh, boy.
Send your jokes. I was thinking, what would be fun? Maybe if there's any teachers listening, you're on your way to school right now, or maybe you're sitting in the classroom waiting in a little bit of peace and quiet before it starts, and you thought, let me turn on the radio. It'd be fun to have like a class that, and I was thinking maybe you could have like second graders, they memorize a joke and they have to deliver it. It'd be a little bit of kind of practice.
Like a public speaking kind of.
And then you could have the 8th graders come down and record it on their phones and send it in. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You've got iPads at the school or something like that. Record it, edit it, clean it up a little bit. Because what you're going to do is you're going to record them saying the joke 3 times, and you're going to use the last one, something. And then email us all these jokes.
I feel like you're making this more complicated than it needs to be. And then now people are like, I'm not doing that.
I'm turning it into an assignment and where there's a little bit of...
Just have them record the joke and send it to us.
That would work too. But I want like 30 of them, like the whole...
That's what I'm saying. That teacher is listening. Do you make it into this big project? And she's like, oh, well, we don't have time for this. We're not going to be able to make that happen.
You got 8 hours today.
Just record it and send it to us.
You have plenty of time.
It's going to be fine.
What is more important at school than sending jokes in to Redeemer Radio?
Get the editing software. Have your 8th graders cut it up. Make sure it sounds good. Kyle will send you processing instructions.
We've set the bar extremely low on our jokes, really. So today... we were greeted by the largest potato I've ever seen in my life.
I don't even know what to say about that potato, except that it is... it's bigger than my toddler's head.
Yeah.
Or maybe roughly the same size as my 2-year-old's head.
Here, just take a listen to what it sounds like when you drop it on the table. And I promise you, I did no damage to the potato. Like, it is
a substantial potato.
This comes from Danimal, one of our faithful listeners and Tribon players. I don't know what to do with it. I guess cut it up and eat it, huh?
We're getting close to soup season. We could make potato soup. We would only need that potato to make the entire batch of soup.
To feed the entire staff. Okay. I want to hear the rest of the story, Dan. Just let us know, where did this potato come from? What kind of hormones and I guess you don't get hormones to plants.
What kind of genetic modifications have been done to this potato?
It's glowing. I don't know if that counts for anything.
What you can't tell is that it's neon yellow colored. No, I'm kidding. Oh. It's not.
And I might have been a little misleading earlier this morning. I talked about this gigantic potato that we had delivered. Turns out it's not a potato.
Maybe more than a little misleading.
It's a turnip.
No, it's a beet.
It's a beet. Okay, I get turnips and beets mixed up.
I wonder why.
That'll be our prize for today, turnips and beets.
Yeah, Dan says it's to be boiled, sliced, and pickled with a few ostrich eggs.
Has he explained why he gave us this giant beet? I guess I don't even know if this is giant, right? This isn't regular beet
No,
size.
That's not regular. When my mom cooks beets for us a lot. She grows them, and it is maybe they're like an eighth of the size of that.
Just as a form of reference, I did this earlier, but this is the sound it makes when it hits the desk. Everything in the room just shook.
It's true.
It is a giant...
I am in a different room from Kyle, and I felt all of the shaking.
Okay. Anyway, today this is such a fun day. And now we leave you with a performance by Spork called Turnips and Beets.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, Justin?
I've heard of this thing, turnip, in songs. Know anything about that?
Do I ever? Let me explain. up in the place, things about to get poppin'. East Coast, West Coast, no signs of stopping. Turn up your headphones, hear the bass be dropping. We straight up reelin' here, no fools be coppin'.
It starts as a root planted straight in the ground. Box my produce like Tyson, buying pound by pound. Eat 'em every day and your diet be sound, all in your farmer's market. Just ask around. Turn up!
Turn up!
Turn up!
No, turn up!
Yeah! Turn up! Turn up! Turn up! Turn up!
Justin,
Yeah, Kyle?
were you listening to me at all?
No, why?
When I say turn up, I mean...
Hold on, it's my turn. Turn ups and beats, high in vitamin C.
That's cool.
You throw 'em in a salad, it's a delicacy. Buy 'em right, not bruised, like a toddler's knee. All shapes and sizes, some big like Goonies.
Adventures, no pressure, gotta try 'em, no pressure. There ain't no frying, denying. With time and we rhyming, turn ups ain't lying.
Starts as a root, planted straight in the ground. Box my produce like Tyson, buy 'em pound by pound. Atkins or South Beach, your diet be sound. All in your farmer's market, yeah. Just ask around.
Spork, y'all. Listen up. Eat all your veggies and then turn up.
Spork, y'all. Listen up. Eat all your veggies and then turn up. Spork, y'all. Listen up. Eat all your veggies and then turn up. Spork, y'all. Listen up. Eat all your veggies and then turn up. Turn up.
Turn up some beats, y'all.
Turn up some beats. Yeah, I love turn up some beats. Turn up your beats. Gotta turn up your beats. Veggies, no meats. I don't need any meats. Some up for sweets. Yeah, I guess so. Homophones in the streets. Love homophones anywhere. Turn ups and beats. Turn up. Turn up. Turn up your beats.
Veggies, no meats, y'all.
Spork.